Hey everybody, Mike Fisk here with Bill with Grace. Thanks for joining me this morning. Today's verse comes from Psalm chapter 61, verse 1, which says, "O God, listen to my cry, hear my prayer." If you look that up in the Bible, you'll see that after each of those phrases, there's an exclamation point there, which reminds me of the tremendous emotion that David is praying there. Have you ever felt that with your prayer life? I don't know about you, but sometimes, theologically speaking, I know that God hears our prayers. He says it over and over and over and over again in the Bible that He listens to our prayers. He hears us. He wants to give us the things that are good for us. I believe that from the bottom of my heart. But the problem is theology and practicality don't always mix. There's times when we struggle with, like David does, saying, "Do you hear me? Do you see what I'm going through? Do you see what I'm worried about? Do you see what my marriage is like? Do you see what my kids are doing? Do you see what this world is like? Are you even listening to anything?" And what I love about that verse isn't that it gives us an answer, first of all, but it shows the emotion, and it shows that God is okay with us being honest. We don't need to approach Him as some, deep theologian or, scary pastor, something like that, where we've got to have the right words to say. Sometimes it's okay to just come to God and be honest and say, "I don't get why you're doing what you're doing. Can't you please help me? Do you see what's going on down here?" That's what David is saying. And that encourages me because, first of all, that shows that I can be honest with God. For one thing, it's silly not to be honest with God because He already knows what you're going through, right? So you can be honest and just tell Him how you feel. The second thing is that it reminds me of the fact that we all struggle with that. It's not unusual for us to feel that way. And hey, if King David, the man that was a man after God's own heart, has this kind of a frustration and this kind of emotion with God, it must be okay. So let me encourage you, if you're praying for something that's really hurting you, continue to pray. Don't give up. God can seem silent for a long time, but usually His silence isn't ignoring you, but it's preparing the way for you. There's a lot of people that have given up on prayer simply because God hasn't answered the way they want. Sometimes He answers the way we don't want, but He knows what's best for us. One of the things I'm going to hate is when I get to heaven, I'm going to hate if, and I don't think He'll do this, I'm going to hate if God comes to me and says, "Look at this whole pile of things over here was what you started to pray for, but then you quit praying, and so I didn't send it to you." I don't think He's going to do that. But let's pray. Let's continue to pray. Let's continue to be honest with God, because I believe if you're honest with God, He'll reward you in one way or the other. Thanks for listening. Again, I'd love to have you follow me. You can also follow my YouTube channel. Great to have you join me. Have a great day.